Hello, everybody. Good evening. I am doing great tonight. I hope you guys are too. Glad to be back for another live stream. I'm really excited for this one. Ever since we started live streaming, we were thinking like, okay, what's the best thing we can do? Of course, we can build with Conduit and Maker Pipes. We've been trying to figure out how to do it. Why not start with a simple tabletop build? So I'm really excited. We're going to be building with connectors and Conduit, and I've got a hack to incorporate and some cool stuff. So I'm really excited. And I've also got Dave here. Don't have Dave Cam, but he is here on the mic.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Nice to see you.
And we're really excited. And I think just get right into it. So I'm going to show you guys where this came from. Tonight we're going to be building a monitor stand. And I got this idea from Matthew Compton. We've mentioned him a lot. We've mentioned this exact build last week. And we love this hack. He's got the monitor mount hack, one of my favorite from the community. And he built a stand for his dual monitor setup. It's really cool, really inspiring. Like I said, inspired me to do a simulator, racing simulator build. And so tonight we're going to be kind of recreating this. We're not doing dual monitors. We're just going to do a single monitor. But I'm going to show you guys how to do this hack, and then we're going to build the whole thing. So really excited. And yeah, that's the build. This is the video. I showed a video on, or did a video on building the hack specifically, but I didn't really show the monitor stand. I built it, but it was kind of like a time-lapse thing. But tonight we're actually going to be building it. I'm going to show you what I do. So kind of a sneak peek there, what it's going to look like. But yeah, that's the build, and I'm excited. So I've got plenty of conduit over here. Let's see. Got to keep some of it off camera. It's kind of long pipe still. I'm going to cut it and everything live. So it's going to be a little bit of a raw build, but that's fun. So I'm excited. I got my conduit. I got more than this. This isn't all I've got. Got some connectors. Let's see. Oop. All right. So yeah, got my conduit, got connectors, got a bunch of accessories over here off to the side, hardware, and the stuff we need for the hack. And I've even got some shrink wrap over here. Let's see. Shrink wrap, we're going to add that to the build and make it look a little bit nicer. But yeah, I'll go over more of the supplies as we get building. That's just the basics for now. But yeah, that's it. I'm excited. Got my monitor underneath and got the part of the hack already mounted to it, and I'll show you guys that when we get to that point. Let's see. I'm going to start. All right, let's see. I'm going to start sketching out a little bit of the size pipes I need. I'm going to keep it pretty. I probably should get the monitor out to measure it. That would probably make sense, right? All right, let's see. I got my monitor here. I'm going to do some quick measurements and jot down. Gonna get a rough idea of how big I need to make this thing.
I think this is one of the builds that a lot of people could use. It's pretty universal.
Yeah, it's great. And you can also, the hack I'm going to show you, you can also incorporate into like a desk build. We did that. We did a video where we customized a pipe desk and we added a bunch of things to it. And one of them was a monitor mount, which is really cool.
Yeah, since seeing this hack, we probably used it at least half a dozen times, if not more. It's been super useful.
Let's see. Okay. So I got a rough idea of the pipes I need. Get this back out of the way.
How big is that monitor?
I think it's a 24-inch maybe. It's not too crazy. All right. So I think I should be able to start with this first pipe. Okay. I've got my simple cutter here, but I've also got the ultimate cutter, the overkill cutter. It makes cutting really easy. I don't want you guys to have to watch me cut for too long. So I'm going to use this portable bandsaw. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring it up. Boom. There it is. Milwaukee. We did a full tool review on this. It makes cutting conduit really easy. Comes in this nice hard case. Oh, there it is. But yeah, it's really great for building with Conduit. Really easy and makes it really quick and fast to make cuts.
You charge the battery, right? You're going to need the battery.
I didn't charge the battery.
You didn't charge the battery?
No.
I didn't charge the battery.
I'm sure it's fine.
You're going to want to get the battery out, though.
Oh, I didn't put the battery in it even. Okay. Who needs to charge a battery if you don't even put the battery in it? Okay. Got the battery.
On that building voice from in the back of your head.
I know. It's like this is the first time building live and narrating it, so this is fun. You got to multitask here. So yeah, okay. Battery is in. Looks like we got enough battery. We should be able to make a few cuts at least. If I have to break out the the simple cutter, we'll do that too. All right, Dave, you might have to keep him entertained a little bit while I back up to cut this.
Okay, I'll do my best. That's a tall order, but I got that Conduit cutter a while back, and we've been using it a ton. I guess I would be a purist with the simple cutter, the regular pipe cutter, and I really held on to that thing as long as I could. I don't know why I resisted it so much, but that Milwaukee has been just fantastic. It's a total time saver.
Yeah, we used it a lot in the Saunders trip. Looking for the tape measure. It's right in front of me. Okay. I'm going to mark a couple of the pipes here.
So which pipes are you cutting?
So I should have modeled this ahead of time, and then, so I could have showed what I was doing as I was doing it. But basically, it's. Let me pull up this video again, see if I can show it, because it might be a better visual. All right, 1 second. Gotta play an ad. Thanks, YouTube. Okay, so you can see here, it's basically just two pipes going across the monitor mounts to the top one, and then there's a bottom one here that kind of, these three legs stick out and kind of hold it in place, and so it doesn't fall over. But yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's just a couple of horizontal pieces, and then you got the three legs, and then the vertical pipes to support the monitor. And you can adjust that if you wanted to like rebuild this. You could make it taller if you have a bigger monitor, or shorter if you want to make it shorter. Definitely customize it to make it fit your monitor. So yeah, that's the first cuts I'm making. So I'm going to measure those. Start making those cuts. Oh, I see. You're asking people if I can pull it off. What's that mean? You don't believe in me?
I just want to know. I want to see what the chat thinks.
That's true.
Does the chat have confidence in you? I've got the utmost confidence in you.
Some of this pipe is rough. It's a good thing we're covering it with a wrap. I found this in like the deepest, darkest corners of the garage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's a little bit rough.
It's been there for a while.
All right, I'm backing up to make a cut. I'll be back in just a second. Now, a word from our sponsor.
I'm wondering what it's going to sound like.
Yeah, now I might have to like.
Let us know if the audio is horrendous. But he's going down below the desk. What's going on down below the desk?
All right. Let us know how that was.
I think it was good. But yeah, let us know how that was.
Yeah, I think it was okay. All right, that's our first pipe.
Oh, you've got some you got a cheering section.
Oh, nice.
The chat is coming in. We got a Absolutely by Kelly, and You Can Do It, Jake by Studio Hansen. Hey, Studio Hansen.
I'm gonna try to get fancy and make these three little legs on this one pipe. So what is this? It's not really fancy. I don't know, but let's see. I'm gonna do 6, 12, and 18. making
JT's in the chat too. He said the sound wasn't that bad. Hey JT.
Great. I'm backing up again to make some cuts. You can kind of see in the camera angle here what I'm doing, but not really. We'll have to get an under the table cutter cam for the future tabletop builds. I think as long as I don't cut my finger off, then I think it's a success either way.
Yeah, we'll skip the under the table cam.
Yeah, maybe that isn't a good idea.
You pay attention to cutting.
Okay. All right, not too bad. One thing, if you haven't seen the tool review we did on this, one thing to note, if you're trying to hold a electric tool underneath a live stream table, it's a little tough to get perfectly straight cuts, so they're a little bit wonky, but it's okay. They'll be covered by the connectors and the wrap, so not a huge thing, but that was something to keep in mind using that saw. And I just got to make the verticals now. This is going to be the bottom pipe. It's going to be verticals that go up. This will sit up top and hold the monitor, and then there's going to be the 3 legs, which I've got these. So yeah, just 2 more cuts, and we'll be ready to start putting the wrap on. This next piece is long.
These are the verticals that you're cutting now?
Yes. And these were supposed to be... I'll be surprised if I get all the cuts correct the first time.
Okay, well, the chat's concerned for your safety. They don't want any lap cuts. Okay. Axel says don't cut in your lap.
All right, sorry, Axel. I need to be practicing safety. We thought about like drinking and doing this too, so maybe that wasn't a good idea. Well, I guess I'm not, so that's okay. But
yeah, once we get a few builds under our belt, maybe there could be some drinking. But first try, we'll keep it PG.
I'll make this cut underneath the table, so we'll be...
Oh, we got Morgan in the chat. Hey, Morgan. She wants to know what we're building tonight.
Let me show you real quick. Cut to this. So I'm recreating this monitor stand that we did in a video for mounting monitors to any MakerPipe build. And I showed how to do the monitor mount, but I didn't show how to build this stand. So we're just building this. And yeah, it's inspired by see if I can find... It's inspired by a community member named Matthew who built something similar. Pull his up here. Oh, come on. Matthew. There we go. Yep, this monitor mount that Matthew did, we're kind of copying this design a little bit and incorporating his monitor hack. It's really cool hack. It's one of our favorites. But yeah, that's what we're building. All right, I'm going underneath the table.
The chat also says talk to your environmental health and safety department of MakerPipe.
That would be Kelly, who's in the chat.
Kelly, is this good? Is this safe? Kelly, is this safe?
OSHA has entered the chat.
No.
No. I don't even know what OSHA is.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Okay, moving on. We don't want to talk about OSHA.
Now I can't find where I put the cut or where I put the marks on the pipe. Okay.
Sorry, I think I'm distracting you.
No, you're good. All right, I'm underneath the table. Legs and appendages are out of cutting range. I'm bumping into the mic.
This is really happening.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, this is as real as it gets. We've done mini builds. We've done build showcases. But this is the first real build.
Oh, Studio Hansen is Randy. Hey, Randy. Thanks for stopping by.
We are working on moving the live stream setup to the garage to do some bigger builds, but we wanted to just kind of get started with some tabletop builds. Yeah, that is one true thing to consider, Morgan, is the monitors stand, how much room they take up. that's why it's good to incorporate it into a build. I don't know if I can flip the camera around. Not really. We've got 2 monitors and 3 cameras mounted to our live stream setup. I think somebody mentioned wanting to see how how it cuts on camera. Okay.
Maybe a test cut.
Yeah, I'll do a rough cut. I won't use this one for the build because I don't know if I can get it perfect, but let's see.
But yeah, so we were building the live stream setup, which has a lot of gear. I mean, that's why we haven't moved it to the garage yet. But, basically, if you can imagine a frame and a desk, and then there's all kinds of cameras mounted in different spots. And it was extremely helpful because you don't need a separate monitor mount. You just attach it to the frame in whatever configuration you want. So we found that really helpful.
Yeah, we've got 2 monitors stacked on top of each other using that design, so it's pretty cool. I'm trying not to mess up Dave's beautiful table here. So I've got the conduit. So you take the cutter, and it's got this, just, what is it, it's just a blade, a linear
Bandsaw blade.
Yeah, bandsaw blade. And so you'll make your mark on the conduit, and then you'll just line it up, and then you have to put some pretty good pressure on it. This might be really loud. I should turn it down, because I'm pretty close to the mic here. Oh my gosh. It's kind of hard to do on top of the desk. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, come on.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can not screw up the table at the same time.
That's good. Use the scrap piece of wood.
I'm going to stand up too. I'm going to be away from the mic for a second.
And you want to make sure that you put the piece of conduit against the back guide. Like you see how it jumped on Jake there? He's got to put the conduit against the back guide. So as the blade pulls it into that guide. And then the angle is important. Oh, almost. There it is. So yeah, I mean, like, Axel, you were saying you use a vise and a hacksaw. Right. Definitely a vise. Vise would help us out tremendously.
That is good advice.
Oh.
Let me get my... Oh, why is my sound effect not working?
You just have to turn up the volume.
Oh.
That's a laugh. Nice. There we go. Got it.
Yeah, that's basically how it works. And yeah, the angle matters a lot. I don't know if you can see, that's focusing. Not really. Let me switch to the other one. Kind of see how that is, the angle is really off on that. You just got to keep that in mind. Make sure to cut it straight when using that. And you can see there's a ton of metal shavings all over the desk now. I don't know if you can see those on the camera or not. Do a little bit of housekeeping here. But yeah, we've got all the pipes cut. Now we just got to put some wrap on.
Yep. Hey, Javier. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, yeah, hope to see it incorporated in your workstation. That would be cool.
Oh, that's a lot of shavings, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a ton. I don't know if it was just because of the way I did it. But yeah.
No, I mean, that's what you get. That's one of the downsides, but...
It's faster, but it's a lot messier, that's for sure. All right. Next up is going to be the wrap. So I've got plenty of black shrink wrap here. And I've got my heat gun to put it on. But easiest way to do this, just go ahead and thread it in and then just cut after you put it on. We have different colors, but I just like using the black shrink wrap. It's nice and sleek design. Kind of keeps the build kind of hidden, and you can put some LEDs on it, make it cool.
Matches the connectors.
Right. Yeah, matches the connectors, so that'll be cool.
And again, this shrink wrap is just heavy duty PVC shrink wrap, just like you would use for electronics or something like that, wires. But it's just a bigger size, and you can get this pretty common. I mean, it's not easy to find, and that's why we make it available. But you can use pretty much any shrink wrap with the connectors, and it'll work. and it just saves a little bit of. You don't have to paint if you don't want to. It gives it a different look.
Yeah, after doing the paint video, I didn't really truly appreciate the shrink wrap until I did the paint video. So yeah, it's definitely a good option if you're trying to add some color or, match the connectors. One thing to be careful when you're pushing the pipe into the shrink wrap, you got to be careful. Sometimes especially with that saw, it makes some jagged edges, so you just got to be kind of careful. I like to just take my scissors, put it inside the conduit, and just push it in. It's a nice little building trick for you.
Yeah, and you just have to be, believe it or not, you need a heat gun to really shrink it, which Jake will use in a second. But on a hot day like we've been having, it's been brutally hot here in the southeast, as I think a lot of other parts of the country. But it'll shrink if you don't store it in kind of a cool air-conditioned area. We've had a few customers get it and then be like, oh, I can't fit it on the pipe. What happened? And it ends up being stored outside. It'll pretty much shrink up to a noodle if you do that.
Yeah, it seems like in the summertime that run the risk of during shipping shrinking a little bit. I've seen that happen. Or I guess where it sat on somebody's porch after being delivered, maybe. Just gotta be mindful of the heat. And Kelly has a good tip. When using a wrap, remember to remove the bands from the connectors, which I'll do that in a minute when we start building. But basically, what she's talking about, the bands on the connectors are actually the same material as the shrink wrap. It's the same thing. It's just these are cut a little bit shorter, and then they're heat shrinked on to the connector. So basically, since the wrap is on the pipe, we won't need these. We'll just take these off when we start building. Kelly has a good tip too. She said to take another piece of conduit and use that to push it inside. Oh yeah, that works really well. It's better than the scissors. Thanks, Kelly, for the tip. But yeah, I think that's a good idea too. He said incorporate some wires through it or thread some wires through it. Oh, yep. Right. We were thinking too that there's like a clear PVC material that somebody used in a build recently. I've always wanted to build something out of that and then connect them together with connectors and then run LEDs through that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really neat.
All right, almost ready to heat these up. I'm glad I got enough wrap. I was kind of nervous. I didn't really plan it out. I just grabbed a bunch.
Morgan likes the idea of the LEDs with the black wrap. We played with that a little bit. We did an LED corner lamp where we just did one connector, had a simple 90-degree base and one pipe going up into the corner with LEDs that kind of shone into the corner. Came out pretty cool.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick.
I think there's a lot of possibilities with LEDs. Definitely want to, not only the clear pipe, but also there's really a lot of ideas. I don't know. I'll have to dive into it more.
Oops, I skipped too far ahead in the video. Yeah, we did this is the lamp he's talking about, so we used the black shrink wrap. And then we got these cheap lights. And they had adhesive on the back, so you just stuck them right to it. And then, yeah, they lit up really well. I was really surprised of how much they lit up into the corner. Change the colors. So, yeah, you can definitely, do some cool stuff. Hi, Joe. Welcome from South Carolina. But yeah, that's some LEDs on the black wrap, so definitely a good option. All right. Almost ready to heat these up. Oh yeah, Axel was asking if they're UV and outdoor rated. Yes, they are UV rated. The shrink wrap is UV rated. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, they put in a UV stabilizer into the plastic.
Yeah, so it's great for outdoor builds, indoor builds.
Right. And I mean, in the 5 years or so that we've been using it, gosh, I can't believe it's 5 years already. But we've had builds outside in the sun, South Carolina sun, for 5 years, and it still looks great.
All right, so got all the wrap on there. I'm gonna start shrinking it on. See if I can. What's the best angle to kind of show this? Maybe if I get up close with this one. So yeah, so you can see it's not tight on the pipe yet. It's just kind of wrapped over it, and then you just once you take the heat gun. Hopefully this isn't too loud.
No, I think you're good.
Yeah, it's pretty far away from the mic, so it shouldn't pick up. But you can see once it starts heating up, it starts just shrinking right around. It does take a little bit. But yeah. I'll switch sides. The shrink wrap, you get a 10-foot length for, what is it?
$8.
$8. 10-foot length for $8. So yeah, it's not. I mean, not bad for what you get out of it. I mean, it being UV stable, I think it's not too bad.
Right. And it doubles the cost as far as the conduit goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not inexpensive. I mean, rattle can is definitely a cheaper way to go. And I'd say most of our customers, they build with just bare conduit, but for like a more finished build inside, it definitely comes in handy. We've seen it in a lot of different uses.
Yeah, it really just depends on what you're working on. Like if it's worth the addition, because it's not necessarily necessary, but it is a nice addition. So it just depends on what you're going after. And a nice little hack too is once you got it heated up, you just push in the ends and it sits in there real nice. Got to be kind of careful; it gets kind of hot. But yeah, that's basically how the shrink wrap works. And it takes a little bit of time, but the time we save cutting we'll use for doing the wrap. I thought about doing all this beforehand, but I really wanted to show you guys just kind of a start to finish build. So is this let's see. You guys want shrink wrap ASMR?
We got Joe in the chat. Hey, Joe. He's trying to bend conduit into circles and incorporate maker pipe to some sort of stand,
Nice.
which is a really cool idea. We've heard or we've seen some guides by people doing that for holiday decorations. And then I was talking with one gentleman who was doing it with a art sculpture project. But I think, it takes some good patience and a little bit of practice to get that into a circle. Are you planning on doing one full circle out of the 10-foot length, or do you think you'll break it up into semicircles, Joe?
We should definitely make a follow-up video to our bending video with the circle.
That'd be a great challenge.
For sure. I mean, it's definitely something that's going to take some patience and time, but I think it'd be really cool, especially if we can like do it and figure out some tips and tricks to share.
Right.
Because I think it is a useful. I mean, not only is it cool just to like bend this pipe into a complete circle, but I think it would be really useful. I forgot about that. Was it Christmas? Is that the same one?
Right. It was a Christmas display, and someone had done a tutorial about how to bend conduit into a circle.
That's right. I remember seeing that. Let's see if I can pull it up in a little bit. All right, 3 pipes left, and we're ready to get building. See, Kelly's full of the tips tonight. She said, good tip to start from the middle and work your way out in either direction. Is that for like when you're actually applying the shrink wrap or just?
When you're heating it.
Okay.
Kelly has done plenty of shrink wrap heating. I can remember a lot of builds. Kelly was the shrink wrap woman. And I'd cut them, she'd shrink them.
Huh. I'm actually going to do that tonight here in just a little bit. I'm going to put some of the plastic end caps into the end. It is a little bit of a tighter finish, and I probably should have deburred the conduit before putting the wrap on, but I've done it before, and it works pretty well. So she said don't tuck in the ends if you're using end caps.
Right. But I think we should try it on stream because I've had this question a bunch. I've said if you heat it up and keep it soft, you can get it in there. I think there's enough room, but yeah, let's get a definitive answer.
Yeah, I'll do that. Once I make the first connections, I'll see where I can put one, and then we'll try it out. I guess I could do it first. What do you think?
Whatever you want. But yeah, Joe was saying he's probably going to do it in 4 pieces to make a circle. Probably a pretty large circle then.
Yeah.
And it's for a balloon sculpture support.
Oh, nice.
Which is, we've been hearing from the balloon decoration community a lot lately. So it's nice to hear from you guys. I remember the first time I really saw that was at a maker fair where I saw Origami, and they were making a maker fair robot all out of balloons. And I mean, it was like 2 stories tall. It was amazing. Really cool thing.
Another wrap tip coming from Kelly. If you're using it on a bent piece of conduit, be patient and do the bend first. Oh yeah, I can imagine it might take some time to sleeve the bent conduit into this.
Conduit Kelly?
Conduit Kelly. We'll have to do a new segment on YouTube. Conduit Kelly. Get her on.
Wrap tips with Kelly?
Kelly's going to do a wrap for us?
That would be... I don't think we can... We need to get her on the stream first. And Kelly, if you're tuning in, Kelly is co-owner of Maker Pipe, my wife, and she does a whole lot here at Maker Pipe, including customer service. So she's heard quite a few questions regarding the wrap.
She's the wrap czar.
And done plenty of building with wrap. All right, you almost done over there?
I know. I tried to tell you. Maybe we should do this ahead of time, but I think it's good. I'm almost done. I'm on the last section.
I've always wanted to make a wrap oven, that you just pop a full stick in and it just shrinks all the way around.
Oh, I have a funny story about an oven and wrap. This is probably not a good story to tell. I'll start off by saying I do not recommend doing this, but one time when I built my desk for my house, I took wrap home, but I didn't think to take a heat gun from the shop. I didn't want to go buy one. It was late at night when I was building, and I didn't have a hair dryer. So I took my conduit, put the wrap over it. I closed my conventional oven in my kitchen and cracked it, and then stuck the pipes in through the crack, let it heat up, and then took it out and put the other end in and let it heat up until I finished it.
Some desperate building.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't recommend doing that. I mean, it did work, but don't do that. Just get a heat gun or a hair dryer. I think works too.
Some hair dryers, most don't. But a heat gun, Lowe's or Home Depot, $20 or so.
I think Harbor Freight even has one for like $10, maybe even cheaper than that. Good old Harbor Freight. Oh, that's a good idea.
That's one of those things you never want to admit to.
Right. That's a good idea from...
you might shop at Harbor Freight, but you never want to admit to it, Jake.
Right, yeah. Oh, well. But that's a good tip. He said to use, in the jig, use rods, put them in the oven. That could be a cool thing to do.
That is a good idea.
All right, so conduit is cut, and unless I have to make recuts, hopefully not. But the conduit is cut. Let me get the connectors, and we'll start building. Oh, no, I'm going to test that real quick with the... Let's see, because I know this one... Which one is it?
Right, so the question is, we've got these plastic end caps. Do you have any of those handy?
I do have some right here.
Right, so can these plastic end caps be pushed into conduit even if you have the wrap? Yep, that's a good look at them.
Yeah, they just usually push right into the ends of conduit. But the question is, do they go into conduit that has a wrap on it? So I'm going to take your idea and I'm going to heat the... Well, let me try without heating it up first and see what happens. I've got a hammer if I need it. All right, let's see. Give it a little bit of a force.
And these are just to, cover the ends so you don't have an empty piece of pipe. And they're pretty inexpensive. They're about 10 for $5, I think we have them.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm sure Kelly knows. We're not as well versed. But yeah, looks like it worked. I mean, I didn't heat it up or anything. I just shoved it on there.
Nice. Okay. Well,
it did kind of bunch up on the end, so maybe if you heat it up and cut off the end, it won't do that. But, I mean, overall, I'm happy with that. So yeah, looks like it works.
There you go.
And if you guys have any other questions while we're... Whoops. Got end caps jumping off the table here. If you have any other questions while we're building, if I go too fast or... Well, maybe that's not going to be a problem, but...
If you build too fast?
Yeah. After I just spent 20
I think you
minutes
answered
doing
your own
shrink wrap.
question.
This one's giving me a little bit more trouble. All right. Yeah, it's working pretty well. Yeah, so I mean, it wouldn't hurt to, cut it off. But if you're like me and didn't plan ahead for that, then you just got to give it some pretty good force to get it on there. But it works. I'll put some more on later. But yeah, let's start building. I'm not going to do the end caps on all of the pipes because some of these are going to be inside the connector, so it doesn't make sense to cover them up. You can if you want, but not totally necessary. Okay, so which is which? Pretty sure this is my... Yep, okay. So I'm going to start. This is going to be the bottom, the base of the stand. And I'm going to do two 45-degree connectors. So I've got them here. I'll kind of roughly put it together. If I can figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. So... use the 45s. I didn't take the end caps off. The shrink bands off. But basically, 45 is going to go there, have a pipe coming off of it. Then we're going to do one over here and then one in the back. That'll be the stand that kind of holds it all together. And then we'll do the verticals. But I do need to take these bands off. It's like we were saying earlier, we've got the bands on here. And these, you can heat these up and then pull them off, or you can cut them. But usually, I just slide them off. You got to work them a little bit to get them off, but not too bad. But we'll do that on all of them. And we do have the end caps there on the site. We have them for 1/2 inch EMT and 3/4 inch EMT. We also have some rubber feet that I'm going to be showing you here soon as well. So I want to be incorporating those too. Because since the connectors are kind of going to be touching the desk, we want to do a little bit of a buffer between that and the desk. And I will show you a good way to do that once we get there.
And that's kind of our approach is like, if the community, if it's helpful in building with Conduit, we want to just make it available. A lot of these accessories are things you can get, they're commonly available. You can get them at other places, but we just figure if we can make them available for you, we might as well as a convenience thing.
How did I do this last time? Oh, okay, I think I did it like that. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Okay.
So this is the base you're working on?
Mm-hmm. So you can kind of see here. So it's just the base pipe, and there's going to be the leg. I'm actually going to move this down. The leg that goes down, and then it's going to come out a little bit. And I'll do the same thing over here, and one in the back, and then we'll have the verticals that go up. So I'm just using the 45 and these little stubs of conduit here. Break out my hardware. And I've got a T-handle with the ball end on it. One thing I like to do in building on flat surfaces, I just put the nut in on the flat surface, and the connector will lock it in place. So then we can just go in from the top with the bolt, thread it in, and I can tighten it together. I think I left enough room for the T's. I want to do the verticals on the outside. I didn't do that last time. I'm going to do it this time. I think that makes sense. Yeah, so I left enough room for the T. I guess the T handle shot kind of blocks. Let me switch to this. Camera might be a little bit better for this part. Yeah, first live stream connector assembled. That's the 45 for the leg, and I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side now.
That's how Matthew did his supports, right?
I think so. I think pretty similar. I've still got it pulled up. Let me switch over to it real quick. I think so.
I think that was a slick way to do it. Yeah, if you go to the next.
Yeah, he did it a little bit different.
Oh, not exactly the same, but I like the concept of using the 45s there.
Yeah, he flipped it around. So basically, this end of the connector. Wait, sorry. Yeah, this end of the connector is on the pipe. Instead of, it's flipped. Like you see over here, it's flipped.
Sure.
You can see that really well. But anyway, he's got it like this, and then he's got the leg like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's able to run off of it. But it's a little bit different. But yeah, still a great design. Still a really cool build. Do a little bit of a rough measurement here. Go over just a little bit more. I'm just going to put the nut underneath. It's also helpful to build flat like this because you can, these will be on the same plane. You don't have to worry about them getting off since we're on the flat surface. Now that one threaded in nice and easy. That one liked me more than the other one. All right. I probably should add my pipe first. Like I was saying, since this is going in, we don't have to put an end cap in here. We can just slide it in and it's covered up. You don't really notice it. All right. Give that a good snug.
Axel says it looks like a zip gun.
Zip gun.
Truth be told, I had to Google that.
Somebody made a marshmallow gun, I think, out of Conduit. But yeah, this is the first part. So you can see it's a little bit wobbly, but I'm about to add the third pipe that's going to go back here, and it's going to even it out. So for that, I'm just going to use a T connector. Take the band off.
Whenever we go to conventions, we have connectors out on the table, and public can come up and build. Number one, what do you think the number one item that is built on the table is?
Oh, that's a good question. So they're building it right there on the table?
Yeah, quick build, couple of connectors. Number one thing.
Man, I don't know. Maybe okay, well, give me a ballpark idea.
Well, I mean, Axel's zip gun, definitely.
Okay.
So it's in the same ballpark as that.
I don't know. Maybe a marshmallow gun or just a play gun?
Yeah, a sword.
So a sword.
Sword,
Oh,
without fail.
that's
Either
funny.
sword or a gun. That's number one.
Yeah.
And then it's sword fights and everything in the convention with Conduit. Good times.
All right, so this is the base of the stand. Really easy, just 3 connectors.
That's looking good.
Yeah, I really like how this is coming out. I'm going to have to put my monitor at work on it. I got a new monitor, so I got to get rid of the other it was bigger and it had a weirder mount. It wasn't like the Vesa mount, so I had to figure out how to mount it to this. But I have to swap over to this one. But yeah, we got this, and I'm gonna put. We got these rubber feet. We also sell these on the site. These are made for chair tips, but they work perfectly. I think they're designed for 7/8 inch pipe or chair legs, but they go over conduit pretty easily. I don't know if I've ever put them on over wrap, so maybe I overstated. Oh no, it's working good.
Yep, 7/8 inch chair legs, commonly available.
Yeah, you can see they're similar to the end caps, but they're a little bit different. So now we can put it on the table. It'll sit here nice, and we won't have to worry about that conduit bumping up against it. I'm gonna loosen this a bit and actually adjust it because didn't do it as. Okay. Don't want that wobbling. All right, then we got 2 more of these. I'm just gonna put these on the little stubs. I'm gonna put the plastic end caps on the other ends. This one's fighting me a little bit more. Come on, there we go. Yeah, not too bad. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse going the shrink wrap or the rubber feet over the shrink wrap, but it's really not bad. Oh, they use PVC as core for LARP weapons. Oh, that's cool. I always wondered what they made those out of. That's cool. I feel like conduit would be a pretty hardcore thing to do for LARPing.
Only the hardcore LARPers use conduit. It's like, if you like cork a bat, a LARPer will switch out conduit for instead of PVC. +5 damage.
Speaking of +5 damage, water's taking me out. That reminds me, I want to show you guys real quick. It's kind of a quick detour. See if I can find this.
Do we have time for a detour? I want to see this thing come together.
How far into it are we? How far into the build are we, or into the live stream?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh,
well, it's 9:45.
Okay, we're almost there. I'm gonna show it. I think it's cool because on the topic of the blowguns, this Greek gadget guru, he made. Oh, of course, ad pops up right when it loads. Okay, but he made a Star Wars Rogue One replica Tonfus gun. Probably one of the characters' names. It's actually a blow dart gun, which is kind of crazy. Does he show him shooting it?
Yeah, I met this guy at a Maker Faire, and it was pretty cool what he did because he put, I guess it was PVC on the outside of conduit, so it made it almost seamless with the T connector.
Huh. Looks like you like wrapped it in the stuff too. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. It's pretty cool. I'll link it in the chat if you guys want to watch it.
And his whole channel is taking like movie items and Star Wars and different fantasy things, sci-fi things, and then recreating them in real life.
I want to show you guys. So with the connectors on the pipe, there's a little bit of a wobble, but since we put these rubber pipe feet on the ends, it makes up that gap so that the connectors aren't touching the table, and the rubber is going to be a nice barrier between the actual desktop. So that's why we did that. Really easy to add and great feature. All right, so now we're ready for the verticals. So I'm just going to get some more T connectors, and it's time to go vertical with this build. I was surprised last time I made this. I used a curved monitor. I think it was 28 inch. It's very heavy, so I was curious how this would do, but it actually surprised me with how well it did in that video we made. I'm actually going to do this on the other side, make it a little bit easier to tighten. But you just gotta hold the nut for a second to get it started. And once you get actually tightening it down, the mic's blocking what I'm doing. I can't really see. I was afraid this would happen. I'm gonna fumble.
That's all right. Let's gauge the confidence in Jake to get this done in the stream. What do you guys think? We're halfway through.
Yeah, I'm going
Maybe
as
not.
fast as
Maybe
I
a
can.
little bit. Maybe a little bit over half. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit over half. We only have like 3 or 4 more connections, and I'd have to show you the monitor hack. But
That's true. And we cut all the conduit. You guys think Jake can pull this off?
I think they have faith in me. I said I was going to do it on the other side so I could make that vertical, and I ended up not doing it. A bit of a tweak. Just kind of eyeballing this. Vertical probably should be checking the levels, but it's okay. All right, nice and snug.
And this is a 245 6T connector build.
Yep. All in all, not too bad. I should have made note of how much pipe I used, but I just used random scrap, so I'm not 100% sure. But I think I think you can get away with 1 10-foot stick, probably.
It looks like it. It'd be pretty close, but yeah.
Yeah. And I might have gone too high with it. We'll find out soon enough.
Okay, the chat's saying they believe in you. You can do it.
Great.
We got Joe, Morgan, Javier.
Thanks for the support, everybody. All right. So we're going to make our vertical. Same thing as the other side, just using a T connector. And I'm really butchering this table. I should put like a rubber pad down or something in the future.
That's okay.
I need to stain this thing.
It's what it's meant to do.
Right. It is the live stream table.
That's true. We do need to stain it. This table, we made it out of end glued pine boards. They were pretty affordable at Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's only about $40 worth of wood. And I just took 4 of those big boards and then sandwiched 2 together, glued it and screwed it, and then cut it and routed. But it's serving the purpose. We can beat on it.
It's a very large desk too. I guess that's why you did it, because we wanted this to be a dual purpose. Should I say both purposes? Kind of tease the upcoming thing.
No, absolutely not, Jake.
Okay, sorry guys, I tried.
Of course, yeah, we're
trying to give you a sneak peek, but yeah. So we wanted this to be a dual purpose. I got a nut stuck in here. Okay. Wanted this to be a dual purpose desk, so obviously we're using it for live streams, but we've also got it set up. We can easily move it and use it for podcast. We actually recorded the first episode of our podcast. We're really excited to share that with everybody. It's called the Maker Mindset Podcast. It's not necessarily related to MakerPipe completely. It's just kind of a DIY thing we wanted to do. So really excited. Stay tuned for that episode 0 drop. I think next Wednesday, I think we're going to be releasing it. So excited to do that. And do you guys like podcasts? I'd like to know if you guys in the chat listen to many podcasts. I know we do. We tear up some Joe Rogan, and I like to listen to some funny ones too. But I'd like to know what kind of podcast you guys like. Ooh, I should probably put that on first. Oh, good night. Taking out the camera. Actually, I should not have put these end caps on this pipe. Yeah, I probably should take that out. Okay. Adapt and overcome. I'm going to switch the orientation of this T, I think.
They're not coming out.
I don't know if I can. I need like a flat head.
Okay, I'll get you that.
You got okay. Oh, I got it, I think. I'm using this wrench. I think it's coming out. Okay. Thanks, Dave, for the... Okay, got those back out. Well, at least we know they work and stick in there pretty good. But I did the orientation. I could have done where these were vertical, but I don't really want to add any more height if I can help it. So, although I need to add. That's the whole point of that. Okay, all right. So we can easily change the connector. This does have to be oriented the other way because I cut the pipe to that length. So, gonna switch this really quickly. But the good thing is we can change stuff on the fly. Nothing is set in stone. So this is going to be a little bit of a precarious assembly. Is this the best way to do this, Dave? I don't even know. Like, do you put this on first and then put the pipe through it and then tighten it, or?
No, I would definitely I'd put both connectors on that top pipe.
Okay.
You know, attach them. I mean, if you cut the pipe right, they're going to be right at the ends.
If I cut the pipes right, but I don't think I did.
Okay. Well, then you're on your own.
Yeah, I might have to cut another one here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the other method then. Dave, can you do me a favor and cut this other pipe?
Yeah, sure.
I'll share a little building tip here, and I'm going to figure out what size pipe this needs to be. There comes Dave with the cutter. All right, let me see how much. Oh. Thank you. I think this bottom pipe was supposed to go on the top. I think that was my issue. But Dave coming in with the quick cuts. I'll take a little bit more off. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Thank you, Dave. Coming in with the quick cuts. After everybody gave me so much support to finish it, I'm losing my marbles. It's all right. We're almost finished. After I put this on, we'll be able to show you the hack, and then we'll be finished. Steve asking, do you think I'll still get it done? The camera does add pressure. That is for sure. But this is... I got one more connection after this. Yes, Steve.
Are you still good on OBS?
Yep.
You're not frozen?
No. Is it okay over there? Everybody at home still seeing everything okay? Looks like it's a little bit wonky. Okay, now it's straight. Okay, cool. Okay, Kelly said we're still live, so that's good. All right, so quick change up there. Oh, Axe says frozen with suspense. Steve says it's good. Sorry, guys, not sure what's happening, but hopefully everybody's coming back in. All right, so now all we got to do is add the monitor hack. Let me show you really quickly how this works. So basically, oh, this is auto-focusing on the wrong thing. Move some stuff out of the way. Okay. So the way this works is I'm going to put a T connector here right in the middle. And then we're going to take a stub piece of conduit. And basically what the hack is, take a stub piece of conduit. We're going to use a couple of washers along with the threaded pipe inserts. So we're going to put the threaded pipe inserts, we're going to put the threaded pipe insert into the stub conduit. And then we're going to use these washers and bolts to attach it to this monitor mount that you can get at Walmart. I've used these a ton. It's $10 per mount. They work really great, allow you to adjust it from side to side. I think they're pretty great value for $10. But basically, put this on the stub. When you put the bolt through it, it'll lock everything together. And that gives us a mount that we can use to attach the conduit to the stub conduit, or to the connector. That's basically how the hacks work. Let me know if you have any questions on that. I can try to explain it if I need to along the way. Take the band off again here. If I can get a rough estimate of where this is, I guess I can use the bottom as a guide.
And this is the actual connector that the monitor is going to connect into,
Right.
be held by.
Mm-hmm. Right, so I'm just going to leave it loose for now until we get the actual hack ready. That's the stand. That's the stand pretty much finished. See if I can, let me see. If you can get really a full view of it.
We got a good one from the top down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think get that out of the way and get the hack going so we can mount the monitor, show them how to do that.
Yep, so I got to figure out how much this conduit needs to be. Oops. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a rough cut here. Let's say about 2 1/8.
Here, you mark it. I'll cut it for you.
Okay. There you are, sir. Thank you. If you can see that. And the way you're going to do this, you're just going to, the easiest way we found, I mean, if you're doing a short stub like this, you can use a vise, and that works really well. But I don't have the vise up here on the table, so I'm just going to hammer it in. Basically, you just thread, I'm using 1/4-20. We have these inserts on the side that go into the conduit. And I'm just going to thread the bolt into it, and I'm just going to hammer this in. Should give me enough room.
How is that? Is that enough?
I think so. I'm going to make sure. I've got some extras if I need it. But the easiest way we found is just to thread it in like this, and then you just, hopefully that's not too loud. Let me know if that's too loud. If I need to mute, I can. Once those fins finally start to give,
Are you hitting it?
yeah. Not to booger up the bolt too much. Oh, I see the issue. It's coming out the other side now. Duh. Okay. So now I'm going to thread this out and then hit it from the other direction, if that makes sense. Let me do it this way. And a good thing to keep in mind is to, well, if I didn't mess up the bolt too much.
That's right. You got pretty much a die there to rechase the threads. You just have to get it out.
Yep. almost there. Let's see. All right. So I was hitting the head on the other side, and that's why I wasn't going in anymore, which makes sense. We did that on purpose so I could have the head on the other side. All right, so now I'm just going to it's going in a little bit to the side. It usually does pretty good about leveling itself out, but looks like it's having a little bit of an issue this time. All right, I might have to phone a friend here, Dave. Yeah, sometimes they go in a little bit crooked. We have some that have the lip on them, which helps a lot with keeping them steady and straight on there. But these can go in a little bit crooked sometimes. Have to straighten them out. Using the grinder is a lot easier. Or not the grinder, sorry, the vise is a lot easier. I can do the other method if I need to. Should have had a backup bolt just in case, but too confident in my skills to hammer that in.
I mean, it's in there, but it's going to be way too long. That thing.
I see it.
Might be able to.
All right, see if I can make it work. All right, so I've got the insert in there, and I'm just going to put the bolt back through the other side. We just need that. We just need that stud in order to get the nut on there. Let's see if I can thread this back on. Yeah, a little bit crooked, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. It's always a good idea to have some extra hardware, but I didn't follow do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, I think that'll work pretty well.
You think you can thread it in enough?
I think so. Pretty close to make it work. Let's see here. But you gotta put a washer first. All right, I'm gonna use 2 washers just to give myself a little bit of room. Now, you don't necessarily have to use the threaded insert. Usually it makes it easier. I did that tutorial on making the mount. It was a lot easier. But you could also do it. Matthew's method, he just did a bolt with some washers through, which worked pretty well. But the tube insert is another option if you need it.
And what you really want to do here is use a short 1/4-20 bolt that you don't have to go all the way through the pipe.
Right.
Like Jake had a longer bolt this evening. So if you want to push the threaded nut insert in the same end that you're putting the bolt in, and then put the short bolt in there, and that's going to be the easiest way. Going from the opposite side causes some issues. But I think, is it looking like you're going to be able to make that work?
I think so. I mean, the bolt is really crooked in there, but I think we'll be able to make it work, at least just for the demonstration purposes. Let's see.
I'm afraid you're not going to be able to get it tight enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work.
What's the issue?
I think the bolt is too short.
So the bolt's too long.
Or yeah, sorry, the bolt's. Well, no, the bolt's too short with this stub piece of conduit.
All right.
Okay.
What?
I'm gonna do the other method. Yeah, if you're gonna use the threaded pipe insert, I would get a shorter bolt and do it like Dave was saying, go from the same side. Okay. But like I was saying with Matthew's method, all he did was he took a washer, did the bolt through it, and then a washer on the other side. And then you go into that mount plate, and then you could just put your nut on there. So that's a pretty simple way to do it. Only thing with this method is you're gonna have to wrestle with the washers and the bolt. All right, so got that started. I'm also got a lock nut on here, which probably isn't the best. And once you got that on there, you just crank it down. Fight those threads a little bit.
Remember that first live stream when we messed up the monitor stand?
All right. It's all right. We'll keep pushing through. Doesn't always go as planned, but we got the backup hack, which is be okay. And really, I mean, this bolt is crooked, but at the end of the day, all we need is to just hold this stub piece of conduit on, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Although you want to try to get it as perfect as you can, or close as you can, since it'll be holding up a monitor. But for this purpose, it'll be okay. Like I was saying, this method is a little bit more tough because you gotta keep the washers lined up while you tighten everything down. So just keep that in mind.
Well, and Joe had a tip. He said if you're hammering on a threaded rod, use 2 nuts to lock them in place and then hammer on that.
Yeah, that's helpful too. Good tip from Joe. All right, I think we got that. All right. So yeah, it's pretty crooked on there, but it's going to work out for this as long as the conduit stub sticking out is straight, which it looks like it is. So basically now we've got this mount that's attached to the conduit, and we're just going to attach a connector to it, and that's going to hold the monitor on. So it's really simple. I know I made it look really tough, but it's actually not that bad. In the video is a lot better demonstration of it.
Can you show a close-up of that?
Yeah, let me do that here. So you see this is the mount from Walmart, and then this is the stub conduit attached, and it's just bolted on, and it's a little bit rough on there, but for this purpose, it's going to be...
Do you remember the
good.
size of the washer?
I don't. I know it's in the description of that video. I don't know if you want to pull it up maybe. I can pull it up here in a second.
Yeah, it's okay. I was just curious if you had it on hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure the size, but it's whatever size it is, it's the exact diameter as conduit, which makes it really easy. So yeah, all we're going to do now is just add this stub to the T connector right there. Just make sure it's straight in there. All right.
Oh, man, Jake.
What's that?
I think
think we're almost there.
I think you are there, sir.
That's it. But you can always loosen this if you need to adjust this back and forth. But yeah, I think we're pretty much there. And all I got to do now is just add the monitor to it. This is the moment of truth. But yeah, this is the stand. Got the base. Got our hack on there. Let me get the monitor.
No one doubted you. We knew you could do it.
Got a little rocky there for a second. I'm not going to lie, but it's okay. But see, these plates also came in that $10 kit from Walmart. So it's a really good kit altogether. And it just... Can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, you hear it click. It's got a safety mechanism to lock it on there. And that's it. That's our monitor stand. And it's kind of high, but we can always loosen these T-connectors here. Go up and down this if we wanted to move it. You could even throw on some adjustable quick release clamps and make it adjustable that way. But yeah, this is it. Let me see if I can turn it around here and do the front view. But I like this stand because even though it's $10, it still has good safety features and makes it so the monitor doesn't just slide off the side. This isn't a good really angle either. It's kind of a big build. You can't really see it too well from this angle, but yeah. There it is. I think it turned out good, even though we had a little bit of a rocky mount there for a second. Oh, I think Dave's getting the camera so we can back up a little bit. Let me switch. Dave's going handheld. Adjust it if we need to. Yeah, there it is. Awesome. If you use a fender washer, there's more room for air, Axel said. Yeah, thanks for the tip. If you use a fender washer, more room for air. Yeah, that's it. I think that was a good first build, and got to see some raw building action, and it did get a little rocky there, but we made it through, and we got a really cool monitor stand. So I'm really happy. Thanks, everybody, for coming by and watching, and yeah. You want to say bye, Dave? You want to flip it around for a little selfie cam? No? Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching and coming by. We'll be live next Wednesday. We'll see you then.